So our thyroid gland is this butterfly-shaped gland that is located in our neck, and it has a very important role to play in almost all the metabolic functions in our body. It helps in controlling our heart, muscles, digestive system, brain health, and even our bone health. And therefore, an optimal thyroid functioning is very important. One of the major problems with the thyroid gland is lesser production of thyroid hormones, which is also known as hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism is a very common disorder, and according to statistics, almost 5 in every 100 people suffer from hypothyroidism, and it is also more common amongst women because they are more prone to autoimmune disorders. So in today's video, we are going to discuss the 5 foods that you need to avoid if you suffer from hypothyroidism in order to maintain an optimal functioning of the thyroid gland. So if this is something that interests you, definitely watch the video till the end. Hey everybody, this is Dr. Zainab Tajir. I am a homeopathy consultant and psychological counselor from Pune. I create videos around physical health, emotional wellness, hormonal balance and homeopathy. And if you fancy this kind of content, please do consider subscribing to my channel. So lifestyle changes and dietary changes play a very important role when it comes to maintaining an optimal thyroid functioning. I also have an entire video about foods that need to be a part of the diet, especially when you are struggling with thyroid dysfunction and hypothyroidism. You can definitely watch that video here. Now, when it comes to hypothyroidism, the first thing that you need to avoid in your diet is foods that contain goitrogens. So goitrogens are compounds that interfere with the normal functioning of the thyroid gland, and they also interfere with the uptake of the thyroid hormones by the cells. One of the major foods that contain goitrogens are soy and soy products. So soy and soy products such as soy milk, edamame, tofu, etc. are all rich in goitrogens. So what these goitrogens do is that they not only interfere with the normal functioning of the thyroid gland, but for those people who are already on thyroid medications, it interferes with the absorption of the thyroid medication from your intestine, therefore interfering with the level of your thyroid hormones in the blood. Now, our thyroid gland needs iodine for normal production of thyroid hormone. But what these goitrogens do is that they prevent the uptake of iodine by the thyroid gland. So normally the thyroid is unable to produce thyroid hormones, which reduces the thyroid hormones in the blood. So what the feedback mechanism of our body does is that it goes and tells the brain that look, there is less thyroid hormone that is present, and therefore the brain secretes this hormone called as TSH, which is the thyroid stimulating hormone, and this hormone is supposed to go and tell the thyroid to produce more hormones. So this TSH goes to the thyroid, but because thyroid does not have iodine, it is unable to produce thyroid hormones, and this loop continues and there is more TSH that is being secreted, but then there is no effect on the thyroid hormone. So eventually for people with hypothyroidism, the TSH levels are high with normal T3, T4 levels. And when this process continues for too long, what happens is that the thyroid gland enlarges and can result into goiter. And therefore these compounds are also called as goitrogenic compounds, that is, that they can produce goiter in the thyroid gland. So it is very important for you to make sure that you avoid soy and soy products. The second food group that needs to be avoided is cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, radish, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, etc. Because again, these are extremely rich in goitrogenic compounds. But the catch here is, we cannot have these vegetables raw because they contain goitrogenic compounds. But when these vegetables are well cooked, the goitrogens in them reduces and makes them safe for consumption. Because these vegetables also have a lot of positive effects on our health. So according to certain statistics, it is advisable to have cooked cruciferous vegetables up to 5 ounces daily, which has no negative impact on your thyroid gland. The third food group that needs to be avoided is processed foods. So what is really food processing? Certain foods, they are subjected to certain procedures in order to make them more edible, such as milk is pasteurized to make it edible. Refined oils are subjected to heating or pressing to make them more edible. But certain packaged foods, in order to make them more edible, to improve their taste and also to increase their shelf life, certain companies add certain preservatives to it, such as salt, sugars, fats, and also certain preservatives. Now, these have been linked to inflammation in our body, and they also can interfere with the normal functioning of the thyroid gland. So it's very important for you to stay away from such processed and packaged foods, such as fruit juices, canned foods, biscuits, and all these fancy packaged foods that are seen into the market, and rather prefer more home cooked meals. The fourth food group that needs to be avoided is sugars. So there has been a very close link between hypothyroidism and diabetes. So since hypothyroidism reduces your metabolic functioning, your body is unable to utilize the sugars that you are consuming very well, and there is a high chance of you either developing diabetes, or if you are an already diabetic, it can make it difficult for you to normalize your blood sugar levels. And therefore it's very important for you to make sure that you consume limited amount or lesser amounts of sugars every single day. Also, thyroid gland has been seen to interfere with the normal insulin production, which again reduces the uptake of blood glucose by your cells and causes blood sugar spikes, which can result into diabetes. So sugary foods and carbonated drinks are something you need to keep away from. And the last food group that needs to be avoided is refined oils. Now, refined oils or seed oils, when they are processed, these seed oils actually lose the properties of the seeds, but it reduces their unhealthy properties, which makes it more prone to causing systemic inflammation. Refined oils like rice bran oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, canola oil, etc., are extremely injurious to health. So we need to replace them with healthier options like coconut oil, ghee, sesame oil, flaxseed oil, etc., which are better for consumption and are much more healthier for us. Now, having told you about these 5 food groups that need to be avoided, there is something I want to add. When it comes to maintaining an optimal thyroid functioning, there are a few things we need to take care of. First is to have smaller but frequent meals in order to avoid too many blood sugar spikes and to make sure that our blood sugar remains more sustainable. We need to make sure that there is some form of physical activity that we do for 30 minutes daily, which is seen to show a better thyroid functioning. And it's also important for us to sleep well, because this is the time our body gets to rest and restore. Stay away from processed junk food and prefer home cooked meals over anything. So I genuinely hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have any queries, you can definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And if you enjoy watching my videos, do like, share, and definitely subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one.